the meantime, Hamas chief negotiator says the Gaza Strip now faces a new phase following the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. In a video message, Khalil al-Hayyer said a phase of construction consolation awaited Gaza. He also thanked Qatar and Egypt for their involvement in negotiations to broker an agreement.
We express our deep thanks and appreciation to the mediator brothers who made strenuous efforts and multiple rounds of negotiations since the first day to reach a halt to the aggression and the war of extermination against our people, and we especially mention the brothers in the sisterly state of Qatar and the sisterly Arab Republic of Egypt. We are now facing a new phase in our proud Gaza, which is the phase of construction, consolation, removing the effects of aggression and reconstruction, the phase of solidarity and sympathy, through which we confirm to the world that we are a free people who build and do not destroy, and rebuild what the occupation destroys. We are able, with God's help first, and then with the help of our brothers, siblings, loved ones, and supporters, to rebuild Gaza again, alleviate the pain, heal the wounds, touch the heads of orphans, dry the tears of the bereaved, and draw a smile on the lips of those whose smile was stolen by war. Our heroic prisoners have an appointment with the dawn of freedom, God willing.
And for more on this development, earlier today in the studio, the head of Palestinian community in Abuja, Abu Ibrahim Ramzy, and international affairs analyst Dr. Mark Laskiewicz on the line from London had this to say.
The real question is a ceasefire deal to be signed or not? As we stand right now, there is no deal. There is still some more of this blame game, if you like. And until that is done, the problem continues. So the real question is, when, under what circumstances, finally, will there be a ceasefire?
Ramzy, to you now. Palestinians must be feeling upbeat about this deal after 15 months of war and then several lives lost and properties destroyed.
Yeah.
Ramzy, yeah.
I'm with you. Yesterday, the Prime Minister of Qatar and the Foreign Minister announced that the deal is going to be signed. The deal is going to be signed on Sunday at 12:15 hour in the afternoon. Responding to the speaker just before me, he said there is no deal. The whole world has been speaking about sealing the deal and signing. The only problem we have is the cabinet of the Israeli aggressive government, which they are playing the last game and the last minute. We as a Palestinian, we look for peace. We look for stopping the genocide which is going every minute in Gaza. Okay. I believe deal is coming, and I have come here before, spoken with your colleagues before Trump was announced as president. And I said, before Trump will be the president of the United States, peace will rise up in Gaza.
Okay. Marek, Hamas says negotiations are continuing in Doha in a serious manner, but what Israel has set new conditions. He's saying there's a deal. In fact, world leaders are commending this. You heard Guterres just a while ago, and WHO DG, he says peace, somewhere he says peace is, I can't get it, I'll get it later, but he said something about it. But world leaders over the UK Prime Minister, Guterres, are saying they should just hurry up and conclude this.
But that is the whole problem. I'm not negating that many negotiations have taken place and that we are very close to the deal. However, I must point out that for many months now, there have been negotiations. It is good to see that the negotiations should bear fruit. But until they do, as we stand right now, the attacks are continuing, the war's continuing, and that therefore this should be borne in mind. I do hope a ceasefire is signed, or everything on the card says it should be signed because there's a great deal of optimism. But I point out, until it is, it has not as yet been signed.
Yeah, it has not. Ramzy, what do you make of the fact that Netanyahu has had to hold on, because it says until Hamas agrees to the totality of the deal, because he has to pass through the security cabinet, then the government cabinet.
That is where the problem comes. Hamas has given the response yesterday, and if you look at yesterday's news, Benjamin Netanyahu said, we are waiting for Hamas respond, which Hamas has given the response before the Prime Minister of Qatar, Foreign Affairs Minister, came up on the TV and said, the deal is being sealed, and this is the agreement, the first phase.
First phase is in three phases.
Phase on 3 phases. And it comes on 6 or 7 points. The first one, ceasefire, complete ceasefire.
Yeah, but just yesterday to this morning, 77 killed in Israeli strike.
You know, as the Prime Minister of Qatar was speaking, the Defense Minister of Israel gave order to the Israeli soldiers in Gaza to strike hardly. We as a Palestinian, we have a previous war with Israel, and we know the last point, the last minute of the deal of ceasefire, it will be very tough on us. We will receive many martyrs between today and Sunday. We will know that. And we pray that God will help us to not have that as much as what they are planning.
All right. Marek, over to you. You had very, I don't know what to call it now, tight edges, if you like, sticking point, if you like, the question of, after all this, the two-state solution, where does this leave us? Before I get to talk about abiding, what does this leave after the first phase? I mean, the second phase is supposed to come in 16 days after the first phase, which will probably dovetail to the end totally of the war. But there's still the sticky question of the two-state solution and Israel totally withdrawing, not letting Hamas control Gaza.
Well, as we stand, we hope that the phase one will go ahead. And as my interlocutor there also pointed out, it's Sunday when the deal should be signed, so let us hope it goes ahead. However, that is phase one. Phase two has not been fully agreed in the sense that already some of the hardliners, or far right, if you like, of Israel have said that they do not want a phase two. And that therefore phase two in that respect has still to go ahead. And please note, we've not started phase one. There is then a phase three, which is to do the rebuilding of Gaza. And there's another aspect of this, as you've rightly pointed out about the two-state solution. But please note, this has not been part of the negotiations for phase one. Yeah. And there is no, if you like, sign from looking from the outside, as people like I do, that this is going to go ahead in the near future.